Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob from Rob's Game Group, and as we are counting down to the end of the year, it is now December. As I like to do every year if I get a chance, I like to do some top 5, top 10 list, and this one's an actual top 10 list of gaming products from 2021. Now let me be clear, that doesn't necessarily mean that the product came out this year. It means that I was exposed to the product this year, and this year has seen a lot of changes in gaming for me. And I'm going to start at 10 and work my way down to 1. There are so many cool products that didn't make the list, and it's not because they're not great products. I just really had to narrow stuff down. So I'll start at 10 and then work our way to number 1. And again, like I said, some of these came out this year, some of these came out previously, but I was exposed to them this year. And the first one, number 10, is the Ticket to Ride Play Pink in support of breast cancer awareness. And this is an expansion that you could pick up where $2, I think it's like $5, and $2 of every purchase goes towards breast cancer awareness. And I'm a big fan of the Tatas, so anything about saving the Tatas I'm going to try to support. And I love Ticket to Ride. It's a fantastic game, so I saw no reason not to pick one of these up. Mainly for my wife, she wanted to get one, but you know, I think it's great whenever a gaming company does something like this. So if you like Ticket to Ride, check with your local game store. They should have a display of these. We picked ours up from our local game store, and I'm really happy. Can't wait to play some Ticket to Ride and open that up. Number 9. Alright, so number 9 on my list is a RPG product by Joseph D. Salvador, and that is Eldritch Tails, which is Lovecraftian white box role-playing. And essentially what this is, I've talked about it in other videos, this is Call of Cthulhu, but using the white box system instead of Chaosium system. And it's really neat. It's really well done. Let's see. Comes in at about 220 pages, 221 pages. And I think it's about 20 or 25 bucks off of DriveThruRPG. But it's a full color booklet, and by full color I mean the edges of the pages. But if you like Call of Cthulhu style games, but maybe you don't like the Chaosium system, or you just like me, you're a big fan of white box, this is a no-brainer, and I was very happy to be exposed to this year. Alright, what is next on the list? Number 8. Number 8 is a book that I've had for a very long time, but this year they put it out in hardback, and that is Chaos Earth. Nice big beautiful hardback of Chaos Earth. It's my favorite Rift setting to run or play or anything. And not only is it in hardback, which is very nice, but there's 30 additional pages of content in this book that are not in the original. Added monsters, a whole nother faction to go up against. If you like Rifts, whether you're playing with the Savage Worlds rules or if you're playing with the Palladium rules, this is a fantastic product to pick up. Alright, number 7. Number 7 is kind of twofold, and that is Stargrave. Now, Stargrave did come out this year along with Quarantine 37, the first expansion for Stargrave. And this is a skirmish miniatures game where you need like 10 models to play. And this book introduces solo play, and really the way it's done in here, it steps you through learning your team and teaches you how to play the game through small scenarios that step things up a little bit at a time, kind of like a beginner set. But it's It's fantastic. You've got alien-style bugs, and you've got space zombies in a deserted space station. What's not to love? Plus, it gave me an excuse to print a bunch of space zombies to use in my game. But it's a fantastic game. I really love these skirmish miniature games. I kind of walked away from the big army games quite some time ago, but I love my skirmish games. Mainly because they're more narrative, and they're more about telling a story than they are wiping out your opponent in the first 2 turns. So that brings us to number 6 on my list, and that would be Frostgrave 2nd edition. A lot of expanded stuff in this. The rules are cleaned up quite a bit. It's still recognizable if you played 1st edition, so it's not very hard to jump into 2nd edition, but a lot of it's been cleaned up and made a lot more user-friendly. And we have played a ton of Frostgrave 2nd edition this year. Absolutely love this. Let's see, number 5. This was gifted to me by a friend for Christmas, and this is the Adventurer Conqueror King system. Nice big book. Very very old school, but I don't know, maybe more 1st or 2nd edition than the white box stuff I play. But it just has so much cool stuff in here. It's easily convertible with most of the OSR stuff that's out there, so if you want to pull ideas from here and use them in your other games, then yeah, you can't go wrong with that. The Right Way to Roleplay with DM James, go check his channel out. He has a ton of videos on this game, and he's right, it's really amazing. I don't know for sure that I'll run this anytime soon, but I'm definitely going to be stealing ideas from it. And there are a bunch of other books in support of this, and I want to check those out too. But yeah, the Adventure Conquer King system is really, really cool. And if I can get my players interested, then I will probably run a game of this year. Next up is number 4. Number 4 is by a guy who I have a lot of respect for. He does fantastic work in the white box and OSR realm, and that is James M. Spawn. And I have the Hero's Journey, the 2nd edition of the Hero's Journey, which is very different than the 1st edition. The 1st edition is built directly off of white box, and this is, you can kind of see some old school D&D in it, but at the same time, it is its own game, and it is why do we need another fantasy game? I talked about this when I reviewed the book. It's different in feel and tone. It's more Lord of the Rings, more folklore, fairy tale type role playing, and I really enjoyed reading through this book and the expansion books. And I'm looking forward to definitely running this in 2022. Alright, so that brings us to number 3 on the list. Number 3 holds a special place in my heart, and that is because it was the game that introduced me to the OSR in this past year. I grew up playing old school, but I didn't know that there was an OSR, and until I ran across this, I didn't realize how big it was. So this game really exposed the OSR to me, and that is Basic Fantasy. Now, this is the hardcover edition. One of the most beautiful things about this game is the price. You can go to their website, basicfantasy.org, and you can download everything they have for free. Or you can buy it off of Amazon or something like that. I think on Amazon the softcover of the main rule book is like $5.50, and this is the hardcover, and it's like $12, I think. But it is fantastic. I would still run Basic Fantasy, and I have pretty much everything they've put out for Basic Fantasy, and I use their adventures and stuff all the time. It's very easily convertible between this and other OSR games, but yeah, I really like it. Alright, that brings us to number 2 on the list. Number 2 on the list is a game that I am currently playing on my Tuesday night group. I'm not running it, I'm getting a chance to play. But it is one of my favorite type of games to play. And that is Dark Places and Demogorgons from Bloat Games. In the 1980s, strange things happened everywhere. This is just a fun game. It is fun to go back to the 80s and role play, and I absolutely love it. I highly recommend it if you like Stranger Things, The Goonies, E.T., any of that stuff from the 80s. I know Stranger Things is not from the 80s, but it's set in the 80s. But if you like that kind of stuff, you can't go wrong with this. This is fantastic, and there's a ton of support out there for it. So check out Dark Places and Demogorgons. And that brings us to number 1. What is my number 1 gaming product that I was introduced to this year? Again, it is an OSR product called White Box. I love White Box. It is old school D&D at its finest. I really, really enjoy this. Oh wait, is it that? Or maybe it's this White Box. Maybe that's the one. Nope, that's not it. Maybe it's this one. So these are all the same book, just alternate covers. I think this is the standard cover, and then you have the black and white cover, and then this cover, and it's a fantastic game, and you know you're really into it when you keep buying the same game over and over just because it has different covers. But I love White Box. It's my favorite way to play old school fantasy role playing, and I highly recommend you check it out. Alright, so that's it. That's my top 10 list of games that I was exposed to this year. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or sarcasm, you can drop them in the description or in the comments below. In the description below, you will find links to my channel's wish list for Amazon, Rob's Game Group on Facebook, where you can contact me, and you can also comment and let me know what your top 10 are. I'm curious what everybody was exposed to this year that you really, really enjoyed. Let's have a dialogue about it. Until next time, my friends, good gaming and good luck.